Li Yunrui doesn't want me to enter the capital camp, and he didn't want me to take over the inner treasury. That's why he faked a secret order from the prosecutor's office. He wanted me to die in the middle of it. Fan Xian realized his enemy was his mother-in-law, but to become the island's first princess, he desperately needed more power. But soon there will be an opportunity. Now Southern Qing has defeated the Northern Qi army. Northern Qi has no choice. They had no choice but to send an envoy to join them, and Fan Xian was the one who made it happen. He was highly recommended by Minister Lin and the Crown Prince. Fan Xian was highly recommended by Minister Lin and the Crown Prince to be the deputy ambassador of Southern Qing. Mr. Be careful. This is a great opportunity for nothing. But someone wants to break up the negotiations. This person is Yin Ruahai of the Procuratorate. His men are all in favor of war and peace. If Hongru Temple succeeds in negotiating with Northern Qi, then if Southern Qing wants to unify the world, I don't know how long it will take. But if the Northern Qi delegation dies in Kyoto, naturally, the negotiation can't go on. If they die, they can send another delegation. Now that Northern Qi has lost again and again, they don't dare to start another war, just when they were about to make their move. Shadow rushed to find the culprit. He told him someone wanted to kill Ping Ping. In less than half an hour, they'll make their move. There's no one around the dean now. What do you mean, no one? Zhuang Meihan has gone to the capital. What's that got to do with her? Zhuang Mohan's trip to the capital is the prerequisite for change. Everyone in the hospital knows that. The only way to challenge the fire is to assassinate her. We want to kill Qin Pingping. We're taking Qin Pingping with us to escape. But the rebels had already blocked the intersection. Seeing their colleagues approaching them with a murderous spirit, Fan Xian had to push Qin Pingping into the dungeon. You all know what's going on. The real obstacle to our return to war is the enemy. It's always the enemy. If he dies, the academy will be under our control. Then it will be easy to motivate His Majesty to take over Northern Qi. Wouldn't that be easy? And there's only one exit from the dungeon. Even the entrance door will soon be opened. Mr. Fan, I'll talk to you later, Miss Li. We're being chased. Hunted? Qin Pingping asked Wang Qinian to open the secret door. In the deepest part of the room is the devil who is destroying the whole world. But for now, they can only go in first. But they didn't realize that there was a dead end inside. The space is even narrower. Wang Qinian saw no way to escape. Emperor Jin complained. He said he couldn't die. He hadn't told his wife yet. And Fan Xian observed the terrain. Fan Xian observed the terrain and was worried that Sri Sri might be invaded. So he returned to the dungeon. He unlocked Sri Sri's shackles. He secured him. I promise to keep you alive. Just as Fan Xian was preparing to fight, the chains behind him began to shake wildly. Driven by curiosity, he looked through the window and saw a strange man in a cape. His body was bound with chains. He looked terrifying. His name was Ern. I lost my leg because of him. Soon the rebels broke through the door of the secret room. At that moment, Shadow, who had been silent, suddenly spoke. In fact, there is another way to survive. They only want to kill Qin Pingping. Do you think they'll let us go? We can kill him first. Fan Xian looked at Shadow strangely. He felt that what he said was a bit out of line. He didn't bother to talk to him. Instead, he reminded Wang Qinian, be prepared to fight for your life. But Shadow grabbed the dagger from Fan Xian's hand and rushed out alone. Even Wang Qinian doesn't believe it. There are at least 100 masters of 7 levels or higher out there. Can Shadow alone do it? But gradually the rebels have been killed. At this time, Qin Pingping opened her mouth and said this is not her master. Fan Xian looked at her with a puzzled face. Qin Pingping explained that just now it was the Shadow that wanted to test her. Then those people outside are fake. No. They really wanted to kill me. What do you mean by that? The Shadow can defeat 1,000 horsemen. And Pingping Qin looked at Sriru on the side. It was the perfect time for him to take himself hostage and escape. I don't understand why he didn't do it. In Northern Qi, Pingping's name is no different from a ghost or a god. Qin Pingping gave a strange smile. Then he asked Fan Xian to push him out. At that moment, the dungeon was strewn with corpses. Qin Pingping asked him if he thought he was doing too well. Fan Xian thought it was normal. Truly, they would be killed. When they left the dungeon, they found Shadow confronting Jugger, who had come to reinforce them. When he saw the dean, Jugs immediately sued the Shadow for being his sworn enemy. The next time he returned to the courtyard, he saw the Shadow killing his colleagues. I arranged it. But Qin Pingping was puzzled. He was supposed to spy on Chuang Mo Han. Why did he suddenly return to the academy? Juga said that since he came to the capital, he's been staying at the Red Furnace Temple. He's never seen him in person. When he ordered his men to clean his house, but he was surprised to find that he wasn't there at all. Then Qin Pingping asked him to make a list of all the visitors and bring back all the organizers in Kyoto. He had something to say. When everyone had arrived, Pingping Qin told everyone what happened today. Someone in the courtyard tried to assassinate him. Fan Xian saved him. He said Fan Xian would be the successor to the academy. When he said that, Juga was the first to object. Are you mistaken? I'm just informing you. Fan Xian doesn't understand. Why did Qin Pingping give him the office of Inspector General? And he thinks his mother founded the academy. He's only in charge of it for a while. Sooner or later, the academy will be in Fan's hands. Qin Pingping realized that Fan Xian was preoccupied, so she gave him a piece of her mind. Just work hard. Tell me if anyone gives you a hard time. I'll help you out. Although Fan Xian wants to confess to dealing with the princess, he wanted Qin Pingping to help him. But in the end, he held back. He couldn't trust Qin Pingping completely. Back home, Fan Xian looked at the map of the palace. When he thought about his recent encounter, he almost told Qin Pingping the name of the princess and asked him to help him out. But Ma Zhu told him Qin Pingping was no match for him when it came to killing. The princess is more powerful than life and death. Taking him down and driving him out of Kyoto would cause him more pain than death. The 18-year-old bastard's first time as foreign minister, negotiating with the empire. For the first time, Fan Xian was inevitably nervous. He was comforted by the new curiosities. When negotiating, be careful with your words. Be polite and courteous. That's the only way to show off a great nation's demeanor. But the negotiation had just begun. Xian Chima changed its normal behavior. He was rude to the Baiki delegation. That's my country's territory. Your country's territory? If you want to go back and send troops to fight, I'm overly welcomed. I'll announce a pause in the negotiations. We can resume negotiations after the two countries have finished fighting. Will you do it? Fan Xian was dumbfounded. That's different from what he just said. At lunch, Fan Xian asked him if he wasn't supposed to show off his greatness. But he told Fan Xian, soldiers are out there fighting. They fought and died. They finally won a battle. If they don't show their diplomacy, I'd be sorry for the soldiers. This is a real lesson for Fan Xian. During the afternoon negotiations, Xian Qing still insists, we can't give back the land we've conquered. Moreover, he wants to pay for the cost of the Qing army. How can we continue to negotiate? There wasn't much to talk about in the first place, but when the negotiation reached an impasse, the Northern Qi delegation received a secret report. Northern Qi would not give in to their demands. At that time, Emperor Qing also received a secret message from Northern Qi. Yan Bingyun's identity in Northern Qi was leaked. Genie Wei Xinjiang arrested him himself. He used him as a bargaining chip to negotiate with Qing. And their conditions, not only did they want Qing to return the occupied territories and the captured soldiers, and most importantly, they want to use Xian and Sri Sri to release Yan Bingyun. Xian is the one in the prosecutor's office dungeon? Yes, that's the devil of Northern Qi. Qin Pingping led the Black Riders on a 1,000-mile raid. It cost him both his legs to bring him back. But Pingping Qin knew very well all other conditions are false. The real purpose of the North Qi is to trade back Xian and Sri Sri. Yin Ruohai knew that, decidedly refused Yan Bingyu in exchange for the territory. But Qin Pingping said they couldn't make a decision on this matter. Qinbi is the only one who can make the decision. Emperor Qing immediately ordered the procuratorate to let it go. But the bottom line is that he can't give back the land he fought for. The rest is negotiable. The negotiations between the two countries intensified, but after a series of arguments, finally reached a consensus. Emperor Qing was satisfied with the news, so he decided to hold a banquet in the hall of Qing Yin. The emperor and the ministers celebrated together. Afterwards, Yin Ruohai found Qin Pingping. A traveled man in ancient times copied a hand from his memory, then got mistakenly recognized by the country as the best writing portrait. Resulted Fan Xian has become the future of Qing's literary world. People praised him behind his back. He's accomplished so much at such a young age. He may not lose out to Zhuang Yimou in the future, so tomorrow night, everyone will be there. They'll be watching my meeting with the literary master, even as strong as Fan Li. Fighting with the literary master in front of everyone. He'll be a bit nervous and cheap. After all, who is Zhuang Mohan? Naturally, he won't give him a hard time. But they didn't realize. Zhuang Mohan has not shown up this time in Beijing. He wanted to use the night banquet as an opportunity to ruin Fan Xian's reputation. Late at night, Fan Xian brought 5 bamboos here. He thought that after the banquet, it was the perfect time to steal the key. He wanted to discuss it with him. But he didn't realize 5 bamboos, who had never been a talker, heard about the banquet. He joked about it. The palace of Qing Yin? What does it have to do with Wang Qinian? Wang Qin, I think you're not just mysterious. Why have you been thinking so much lately? Thinking? I don't think the palace has anything to do with Wang Qinian. It's just that the Empress Dowager's chambers are so big. I'm afraid it'll take some time to steal the key. But Wu Zhu told him, there's a secret door under the Queen Mother's pillow. The key could be hidden there. Fan Xian was curious. How did Wu Zhu know so much? All he could say was that Yu Qimei went through it. The old lady has been a widow for years. She seemed so serious. I wonder if she hid some love letters in her private life. But there's a problem. If she steals them, the Empress will find out. Fan Xian plans to make a fake and put it back. That way, it'll be a perfect match. You've never seen the real thing, How can you make a fake beforehand? I have an idea. Fan Xian called Wang Qiming. He slapped 10 taels of snowflake silver in front of him. When Wang Qiming saw the money, it was like seeing his own father. He fell to his knees. One last sniff. That's the kind of smell he likes. I said I'd break into the palace at night. I'll sneak into the Empress Dowager's chambers and steal a key. When Wang Qinian heard that he's going to steal from the Empress Dowager's bedchamber, that's a crime against the family. He loved money so much, he had to give it back to Fan Xian. Fan Xian had no choice but to raise the price. For the sake of the silver, Wang Qinian wanted to do him a favor. The next day, Fan Xian arrived at the Qinian palace for the banquet as promised. But during the security check at the gate, he did a series of things. The crowd was dumbfounded. Can you carry poison? No, no, no.